Hi, I'm Tina Ann Middleton, author of the Forestville series. I'd like to welcome you today to the Writing Journey, where we inspire and encourage each other in the craft of writing. Today, I'll be talking about another local author, and I can't wait to share with you about his stories. We'll be right back. As a member of the American Christian Fiction Writers, I have had the opportunity to meet several talented authors. One of those is C.D. Sutherland, known to us as Chuck. Let me tell you a little bit about Chuck. Chuck is an interesting character. He flew B-52s for the Air Force. He wrote a series called The Chronicles of Susa. This series it defied conventional classification. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the series here in a few minutes. He's a Baptist deacon. He is a member of the American Christian Fiction Writers, both the local group and the national group. Chuck actually, how can I put this? Chuck is the engine that keeps us going. We do a number of projects, the anthology, an annual conference, and Chuck is the one who puts all the details together for the anthology, for the conference. So he's more than a member. I mean, he is like the driving force. He's the owner and executive editor of Narrow Way Press, which is a small independent publishing company. In fact, the anthologies that I mentioned to you are done through Narrow Way Press. Chuck's philosophy is to do the best you can with what you have to work with. It's a good philosophy, don't you think? He also has a power verse. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can believe that about Chuck. Let me stop for just a minute and encourage you, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to my channel, The Writing Journey. Be sure you ring the bell so that you get notification of future videos. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, and my Amazon author page. Let me tell you about Chuck's books. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about how I found ACFW, which tells you how I met Chuck. I found out about a free conference for Christian writers. And I had heard a couple people mention ACFW. So, free conference, hey, who can turn that down, right? So I went to the conference. It was an all-day thing. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Got to meet all these wonderful writers. One of them was Chuck. And being the book lover that I am, I don't know if it was immediately, but sometime during that day, I managed to visit the book tables, and I bought books from most of the authors. Chuck's books are The Chronicles of Susa. That was my introduction to him. Oh, how do I describe this to you? The names of the books that I have are The Dragoneers, The Lost Dragoneer, and The Last Dragoneer. Chuck calls them antediluvian steampunk. Okay, we can go with that. It's biblically based action adventure. The main character is Susa, who is the daughter of Noah. And it describes her adventures. She meets a dragoneer, and the dragoneers are kind of like Delta Force, and they ride on dragons. And she's a bit rebellious. She's not interested in her father building the ark. So she joins the dragoneers, develops into quite a fighter, and it describes her adventures from a raw recruit in the dragoneers all the way up to the flood. And that's in the third book. So it's incredible. If you like, it's like it's fantasy. It's biblically based. If you like dragons, there's dragons in there. There's people that go to other planets. It's incredible. Now, I'm currently reading a little novella that he wrote called Pop, Death, and the Devil. He also wrote a children's book called Christmas Candy Cane. I haven't read that one yet. I'm going to have to find that one. I love children's Christmas books. As I've mentioned before, we do short story anthologies. I say we. That's sort of the royal we. I've wanted to write for the anthologies, but part of how they do it is if you are a contributor, you are also an editor. You edit the other stories. And since I didn't feel I could really give them that time, it wouldn't be fair to contribute. I look forward to the day that I'm home writing full time and I can contribute to these anthologies. But there are several. There's Coming of Age, 2020 Vision, Over the Moon Travel Treasures, and Celebrating the Short Story. And each of these anthologies, Chuck has contributed to them, and other members of our group contribute to them. And like I said, I can't wait until I can contribute. C.D. Sutherland, Chuck. He is an interesting character. He is a driving force for our local group. A godly man, a deacon. I wouldn't be surprised to find out he does some teaching at that church. Our personalities shape our writing. And Chuck's writing definitely reveals his unique personality. I have enjoyed reading Chuck's books. It was so cool to go back in time to before the flood, to imagine what might it have been like. It's also been cool to get to know him as a member of our local group. He encourages me, and he encourages the other members of our group as we're growing and learning this marvelous craft of writing. He encourages us to keep writing. And that's what I want to encourage you. Have a great week and keep writing.